Okay, I would like to call the meeting of the Madera County Arts Authority into action. We have our agenda for today. And are there any additions to the agenda?
I have no additions.
Okay, no additions to the agenda. And then let's stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. And maybe Elsa, since it's your first time,
With no pressure. Ready? Salute.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
okay. Okay, public comment. Members of the public may address the board on any matter under the jurisdiction of the board, but not appearing on the agenda. The board will not take action on any items presented in public comment. I would like to take this opportunity to introduce a couple of people. First of all, here on the board, we have our newest member, and that's Elsa Mejia, who is a city council person for Madera. And I'm going to ask you to say a little bit about yourself and why you think the arts are so exciting, if you can. Oh, push the little button. No, there you go.
Yeah.
There you go.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Elsa Mejia. I am a lifelong Madera resident. I am very happy to serve on this board and represent the city of Madera. I am also an art lover. My parents are originally from Oaxaca, Mexico. Oaxaca is known for its arts and its culture, and very grateful to them for having raised their kids around that, around knowing and upholding their culture. So I'm just very happy to contribute here and in my community. Thank you for having me.
And we are very happy to have you, especially because we're trying to do our Madera Street Eats and build up our people coming downtown. And I know that the Oaxacan celebration is one of the big ones. So we're hoping we'll get that organized in the park downtown this year. So, okay, welcome. And who's that next to you?
Hello, my name is Andrew Hernandez. I'm a local resident of Madera my whole life as well. I do some Instagram pages, food related. That's why we started doing this kind of street eats events. Local business owner as well. And yeah, thank you.
He's humble. He's been on our Street Eats committee, helping us work our way through getting food trucks into Madera and getting our events off the ground. He's also an artist. He doesn't admit that. He says he's a landscaper, but he designs people's yards, which is an art form. So there you go. You're an artist. Okay. And then over here we have Joetta. We're the experienced people on the board now.
Hi, my name is Joetta Fleek, and I'm on Madera Unified School District School Board. I'm also a board member for the Historical Society, and I'm also on my tribal council.
Cool.
I retired from teaching after 28 years. Ta-da.
That's our big badge of honor, isn't it? Okay, and then today we're missing Rob Poitras, who is our supervisor for Madera and from Madera County Board of Supervisors. He has a very important anniversary with his family. So. And I would like to ask Tamar to come up to introduce herself. Tamar Caucasian is our newest executive director for the Madera County Arts Council. Okay? And she just started with us a couple months ago, so don't ask any hard questions yet, but she's getting her feet wet and we are going great places with her. So would you tell us a little bit about yourself and how you got yourself into this job?
So I was born and raised in Fresno, went to Fresno State, and my background was in sports marketing, but I found I left to volunteer when I was a student and found a lot of parallels between like sports marketing and bringing communities together with like nonprofits. So that's where my career ended up going. So my career has been in nonprofits. I've done different things around the Central Valley. I worked for the Leukemia Lymphoma Society, Valley Children's, the Central California Blood Center, and then Habitat for Humanity. I was very excited to join the Madera County Arts Council because of the mission of utilizing art, very similar to the Arts Authority of like using art as a way to bring the community together, help with economic development, and celebrate culture. So that's what really drew me to the mission. And I'm really excited to be here to work with all of you and then my amazing board and staff. So happy to be here.
Great. Any questions for anybody? Well, thank you. And she decided to come today and see what we're doing here.
Yeah, I'm very excited.
You had your first experience with Street Eats the other night too, at
Yeah.
107 degrees. So.
Yeah, it was really, it was bigger and like much, like a lot. It was a great community event. I thought it would be like the Fresno Street Eats, but it was exciting to see it much more community centric.
Oh, really? Okay,
Yeah.
great.
Yeah.
Thanks for that observation. We're going to talk about Street Eats on the agenda today. Because Elsa's new, Andrew's fairly new, and I just want to take a minute while we can to talk about why we're here. Historically, we being the Arts Council, wanted to build a cultural arts center housed in downtown Madera. Okay? Our goal is to be across the street where the government center used to be, maybe in the library, the old library, which is also across the street. We built a plan to do that. We built we had an architect help design. We got the price tag and decided we probably needed to do a little more work before we were going to be ready to build. Okay. And then we also had a advisor come in, and he said to us, you need to build a base of support in the community so people understand the value of the arts and their role in bringing the arts to Madera and what that can do for your economy in Madera and for people thinking about living here and working here and being part of the community. So the suggestion was that we form ourselves into an interagency kind of group and lead that effort. And our focus has been on downtown to build up our downtown and get us ready so that people are going to want to contribute to development of our cultural arts center. Okay, so that's how we got here. The county bought in, so we have a representative from Madera County Board. The city council bought in, so we have a representative from the city council. The school district said yes. They were in because they're doing lots of things with kids in the arts, and so they wanted to be supportive of that. And of course, the Arts Council, what could we say? Okay, so we're in. And then Andrew represents the community, okay? The non-agency kind of person who's the fifth person on our board. The tasks we have taken on for ourselves focus on the revitalization of downtown. You can see if you go to the county park, you can see the greatest feat we have so far, which is a stage covered. It's a place to have events and to showcase, and then to invite the community to come together. And what's turned out to be a fairly large park. I never really realized it was that big, but it holds a lot of people. And that's about bringing the arts to Madera County. County has revitalized most of the park. They have one more section to do, but that gives us plenty of room, plenty of things for families to do. I saw the families out playing the instruments the other night that are on the little walkway. There's books for the kids to read as they walk through. So it's, it's a great deal. The city, next. The city is doing downtown Main Street, Yosemite Avenue, and it's scheduled now for 2026, we hope. The city administrator says, Julie, don't promise anything. Just say this is what we're looking at. Okay. So, but they're inviting people from downtown businesses to come in to find out what the plan is. And they've got quite a bit of work to do to renovate that street. But that'll be a major feat when that is narrowed down and gives us a place to have more events and activities and gather people up. A sidelight to that is that part of what we've been doing is walking down alleys in downtown Madera, and looking for places to put up murals, looking for businesses that would like to open up the back of their restaurant or their store and get some activity going in that alley back there. Now we look at the possibility that we could maybe do some of that work to support the businesses while the main street's being remodeled. So we're beginning to talk to the Downtown Association, the City Council, and whoever will listen to us about, what we can do to help those businesses who are afraid if the road's closed for a year, they'll lose their business. So how can we now use that opportunity to maybe access the alley a bit more? So that's coming along. I'm getting older, but maybe in my lifetime. And then, of course, the next phase of that is to get ready to renovate the old library in Madera, maybe connect it to the new library, and then build our cultural arts center in that beautiful big space across from the park. Okay. If you know anybody that's got 50, 60 million and don't know what to do with it, this would be the appropriate time to get their name on a building. Anyway, so that's kind of what we're about. And the beauty of it is that we were able to find ways to work together across agencies. So everybody does their little part. And then when we apply for grants and things, it sounds better to have the whole community behind. That's why we're trying to find ways to work. Okay. Any questions, comments? Oh. Okay. Then we'll move on to the business of the meeting, the public session. Item 4A is approval of the minutes. Consideration of the approval of the minutes of the March 24th meeting. And I think we could do at the same time. Can I do it at the same time? Item number 2, which is the minutes of the April 28th meeting. Those were sent out to us. Is there a motion? That would be up to one of you.
I move to approve the minutes for March 24th, 2025, and also April 28th, 2025.
I second.
Nelson seconds it. Any discussion? Any comments from the audience? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Okay. Now we have the treasurer's report. Mr. Poitras isn't here today. We still have money in our account, so that's our treasurer's report. Item number 2 is discussion and direction to authorize the payment of a warrant invoice in the amount of $202.86 to the County of Madera for our clerking service. We pay a little money to an attorney when we need help and to our clerking services so we can have somebody run our meetings. Did you have something to comment about that, Mr. Salinas?
Yeah, good evening, Madam Chair, members of the board, Nick Salinas, District 3 Chief of Staff. Just wanted to make one comment here on the treasurer's report. And it's a good comment because for the first time in a long time, we have some income. So thankfully to the donation from Supervisor Poitras with the discretionary fund, and also due to some fundraising efforts for the Madera Street Eats project, we have $3,500
Wow.
in new income to our account.
Cool.
And that's intended to help offset the costs associated with operating
Right.
the Madera Street Eats event.
And as Mr. Salinas is pointing out, we got seed money to get ourselves started, but we're supposed to be figuring out ways to raise some money to keep this movement going. So that's good news.
And for the record, I think Drew may have that 50 or 60 million that you were looking for.
Yeah, right. I wish. One would be good.
Yeah, so aside that from your treasury report today, we have the one warrant for the clerking services for our wonderful clerk of the board's office.
Okay. Questions? Is there a motion to approve the treasurer's report?
I motion to approve the treasurer's report.
Is there a second?
I
Okay.
I second.
Okay, good. Any comments from the audience? Okay, let me bring it back here. Anything from here? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? I bet you wish the city council meeting was like this. And the school board meeting, oh my God. Okay, now we have item 4C, the ad hoc committee report. We have been at this since May, I think, started our planning. And here we are, we've done 4 of these. So, Mr. Salinas, you want to kick this off by talking about what we've done so far?
Sure. Thank you, Madam Chair. If I could get our screen share going here. Happy to report on the events since our last meeting. Going back to 2020, as you mentioned earlier, Chair O'Kane, the Madera County Arts Authority engaged services of Quad Naft to present a feasibility implementation plan. And part of that plan, the 2 major tasks, the main takeaways were the community engagement piece, as well as the development of a final feasibility plan, which we do have. Going back to phase 1, it was more of a policy side of things, establishing gaps that were found in our codes, creating an arts master plan, beginning with small scale, achievable results in a short amount of time, which have taken place, as many of you know. Going on to phase 2, which I'm happy to report that has been accomplished. We have created the small amphitheater in Courthouse Park. We're looking at further design options and ideas for that park, along with the Caltrans diet plan for State Route 145. Moving on to phase 3, it brought in the concept of restoring the former library, as well as looking at 209 West Yosemite, which is the former courthouse, is yet to come. Finally, phase 4 is developing the Performing Arts Center for the DOMA plan. As you're all aware of, a really nice amphitheater type of venue, possibly in conjunction with Madera Unified School District. And there were some key points to consider as far as costs, funding, schedule, roles, and such. So May, the ad hoc committee appointed myself and a number of other individuals, and we collaborated with Fresno Street Each, which is operated by Mike Oz, who in my opinion has been a phenomenal partner. We brought Madera Unified School District to the table. They were absolute phenomenal partners in bringing their mariachi kids and bands and all the various schools. That event just kind of kept going and going, and it was a really fun night, and it was a busy night, as you'll see. And I do want to spend a little time on this because as we navigated through this process and started this Street Eats event, it was really good to see a number of community partners come to the table and offer their support. So the probation department offered their juvenile kids who pick up the trash. They go throughout the park, pick things up, and we were able to comp them a free meal every evening of the event, which they really enjoy. And then, of course, obviously the Arts Council played a big role, the county, the city, Fresno Street Eats. And then we also reached out to some local businesses. Equipment Share funded our lights, the lights that you see that are ran on generators in the evening. Drew, that's his little smiley face logo there. He gave us a hand with some extensive marketing. And I want to say we've gotten north of 30,000 views on some of our promotional.
Yeah, last one's like 40,000, just the flyer, and yeah.
So I think Drew plays a major piece in getting this event to be what it is. Cagler Environmental helped out with some trash removal services. M&A Sanitation donated their porta potties, or are donating their porta potties on a monthly basis. And then Pequeños Empresarios, which is ran by Jessica Malgoza, District 4 Chief of Staff, has also been providing a lot of support as well. So here's a look at the first event. That was from probably midpoint of the park, and it was just packed. I mean, people were lining up. There was kids everywhere, running everywhere. They were going to the trucks, getting some of the food, and all of the vendors were just absolutely busy that night. We knew that this first event had to be a big one, and we had to do it right. And I feel like bringing MUSD to the table was just a huge value point on our end. More pictures there showing how busy, and video as well. So that was May. Then comes June. We decided to do line dancing, and it was interesting. We didn't quite get the crowd that we would have got with with the mariachi kids due to the MUSD.
Just now. We didn't get our advertisement out either.
Advertising was a bit late. Yeah, there were
was a
some
big deal.
growing pains, some hurdles, some learning, and we definitely figured out that the marketing needs to take place immediately. So I'm happy to share that we've changed that now. So after every event, we typically debrief the following Tuesday or Wednesday and begin the marketing efforts ASAP to get the word out. So there you can see it was a little slower. Wasn't as quite as busy, but there's a view of the park and a smaller turnout that we had. Madera PD has been a phenomenal partner as well. They come and clear the park. And actually, this picture was taken prior to even setup, so that's a little unfair to this event. But Madera PD has been coming out. They clear the park. They provide their booth and informational items, stickers, things like that. I also want to highlight Ignite Real brokers here at Madera. They've been partners. They were part of the income piece that you saw in the treasurer's report. They were proud sponsors. They actually put together a balloon artist that provided balloons to kids for free. You got to go spin the wheel and so forth. And we tried to limit the amount of vendors so it's not so much a business fair type, just more for people to go out and enjoy, get a free balloon. And they've been great partners with us. So then comes July, which was Cumbia in the park. And we got this one out early. I'm happy to say the word got out. We kind of tried to focus more on our Madera demographic, and this is what we came up with. As you'll notice, these flyers tend to grow over time. So the more that we do these events, the more partners we bring on. And that's what you're seeing here. And I want to say this event was an absolute success. They had a really good setup. That was before it got busy. So as you'll see through the pictures, things are going to pick up a little bit. This is a
Dancing started.
This is a pretty good one. Yeah, this is late into the night. Most of the kids are already kind of, in the cars or on their way home, but they got a little busy. So that was a busy one. It was very eventful, well attended, a lot of dancing, and definitely one of the funnest events that we've been a part of. So come to August, which just happened Friday. So I had to prepare everything knowing Friday was going to be a full on display. So we decided to do the taco throwdown. So it was 3 Madera trucks, 3 Fresno trucks. QR codes are placed on the trucks themselves, and the public got to vote to see who would win the ultimate Madera Downtown Throwdown. Sorry, Madtown Throwdown Taco Truck Award. And we had a belt. And again, I want to focus on the sponsors. As you can see, that just keeps growing. There's who won it? Oh, that's to come here very shortly. But just to look towards the bottom of the screen, the sponsors are growing. We're getting a lot of community partners, a lot of community support. The Madera Fairgrounds joined us, and they provided free tickets to the fair, informational booth, little giveaways and whatnot. And then also new on this one was the sheriff's office. Sheriff's office wanted to come out, display one of their vehicles, and have staff on site to provide information. This was also the first time we served a beer garden. So we partnered with Valleywide Distributing, and they provided some beer at no cost, some beer at a cost. And with the beer garden came a few more growing pains that we had to learn, fencing, security, insurance, and so forth. But we wanted to do it the right way. We felt that it was a benefit to the community. And we also partnered with the Sugar Pine Smokehouse. They were able to provide us with a couple of bartenders and some expertise and a few little condiments here and there on this. And also the bottom right with the little dolphin is Silver Rentals, local party vendor company. They supplied us with a free bounce house for the kids to enjoy.
Oh, is that?
With their own waiver. So liability wasn't on our. And the library also partnered up. They provided a kids zone. I think they had Connect Four, Cornhole, and then another little game.
Bubbles and books.
Yeah, bubbles, books, and they. Oh, and then of course we had Bluey. Bluey came on out too. We heard that was going to be a big draw, and the gentleman did a phenomenal job. And he spent more time than he was compensated for, but he was happy to be there. All in all, it was another good night. Those were the number of vendors that we had out. You'll see a couple other non-food vendors, which was Total Wireless, who provided free waters, and then a more collectible type of retail type of vendors as well. Here's some pictures of the night. That was the bounce house. There's Bluey. That was the beer garden. We were hoping it would be a revenue generator. That's more discussion we'll have to have in the ad hoc committee. I think we may have broke even, but we're gonna have to tally up the numbers and kind of see where we ended up. We're awaiting a credit back from Valleywide, which is the good thing. They're returning the product that wasn't open. And here's a short video of the night. That was a short video, well attended. And to answer your question, Board Member Fleet, Taco Man, take home the belt, and he'll be here on South Gateway Avenue. And it was pretty close between him and another Madera vendor, but we're happy to say that the belt landed home in Madera. That's about it on my end. Happy to answer any questions or consider any discussion.
Well, thank you. Thank you very much. You know, this wouldn't happen if it weren't for you, Nick. Getting our group together and getting some thoughtful planning and lots of volunteers and support. And it's wonderful to see how it's growing.
Definitely. Thank you.
Andrew, do you want
Nick
to?
did it all. Give him the props. He did. I've been behind the scenes, but he handles a lot.
What's your observation about all?
It's really good. This one, I think, like he said, we're trying to figure out how to attract more of a crowd. We're getting more sponsorships. Well, more people involved, not sponsorships, but yeah, I think like you showed that second one was horrible marketing. We figured that out right away. And this one right here had a lot more numbers than I think the first one. And at like 8, 9 p.m., there's a lot of people still out there. And the taco truck in the back, had to be what, at least over 1,000-ish people, probably more.
Yeah, we do. It's really hard to put a number on an audience in a crowd, but typically what we'll do is look at different populations. Okay, there's 100, there's 200, and yeah, I think we clocked at about 1,500 people. Yeah, so in discussions with the ad hoc committee, we've decided to go through October. So it'll run May through October each year, which is, there's a lot to consider because we're doing a lot of asks from various businesses and vendors. So to ask for a company to donate without, and then you have to find a way to fund, what we're doing. But yeah, we felt that October is a good month to end it. And September is going to be really interesting. I'm going to be putting on the Old Timers Day Parade. Following the Old Timers Day Parade is a booth in the park, and I'm happy to share that board member, Drew, is going to be heading up the booth in the park. So he's going to have a guaranteed crowd with the parade.
I know it just got handed over to me. But
Just tell him
I'll
just
take
now
it
we're
on.
giving over.
Oh no, he signed up for it. He
Signed up. I did.
But yeah, no, we're going to give them as much support as we can. And that is a very big crowd after the parade because everybody's hungry. All the kids just, wrap things up. And it's a long morning for some. I start about 4:30 in the morning. And so by noon, 1 o'clock, I'm totally done. But most people get there at 10 o'clock and then 11:30-ish is when it ends. And then there they are to enjoy themselves in the park.
So are you thinking that this is going to be that afternoon in the park?
It'll be immediately after the parade. Yeah. So we're replacing our Friday event with September's Boost in the Park.
I see. Okay. So that should be.
It would be a bit much for the community, I think, to come on out 2 weekends in a row.
Right. I also think it's good for advertisement because lots of people will be coming because of the parade, coming to the park. And then if they hear street eats and expansion.
Correct. Definitely.
Yeah, so congratulations to the ad hoc committee, Drew, Nick, everybody that is putting this together. As a lifelong Madera resident, I think this is such a long time coming. A lot of people wanted to see downtown coming alive, and this is such a great example of it. I love how it's so inclusive, and also how you just keep trying to change it up every month, the themes and everything. So don't be so hard on yourselves. Like I think it's really, really great for it being the first year, it being the third, fourth time that it's being done. It's just going to become something that's going to be a part of the community, a series, and people are going to look forward to it. So thank you and congratulations.
Yeah, thank you very much. I was sharing with Drew the other night. I said, man, it's really good. You think about that park 2 years ago, it really wasn't a park. It was kind of just a hangout, this place in the middle of town that had, the museum. Now with the work that everyone's done, I mean, you see a park being used the way a park should be used. And to see kids running around, even at, 11 o'clock at night when we're tearing down and picking up, I see kids playing on the playground and I'm just thinking, man, this is exactly what should be happening in this park. So it's an accomplishment of everybody, definitely not just myself, but the county, the city, school district, arts council. Everybody's put a lot of time and effort, and it's really, really good to see that park being used the way that it should be.
Tamara, was your first experience? You thought it was really homey? How- you have experience in other food truck parks and events?
Yeah, just in a different variety of ways. I think when I heard Madera Street Eats, I thought it'd be more vendory, but it was very community focused, which I thought was a nice surprise. Yeah.
How did our booth do? There was a lineup at the Arts Council.
We were doing an art exhibit, so I think learning more about like the structure and thing is super helpful. So we last minute decided to do like an art piece that we're doing with an event with CASA. So that was cool to be able to like collaborate there. Um, and then people came up and had questions. I think there was a lot of people from the community that hadn't seen us in a while that were excited that we were back out.
And you know, there's lots of families. I'd never pictured that this was going to be a family event, but because we have the playground and lots of things for kids to do, and you know, with their parents and all in the booths and stuff, it's really turning into the whole family running around the park, and the kids having a good time, the parents having. But that's really
What we wanted.
more than I thought was going to happen. I'll tell you a story. I had somebody I know from an organization. I said, "Oh, you're going to come out to the park?" She goes, "Well, no, I'm really afraid to be in downtown when it gets dark." I said, "Are you really?" And I said, "You know, it's really fine in the park." She came.
Yeah.
She had a great time. Nobody knifed her. She came up and said, "This is really great." So it's the getting people over that fear of what's going to happen to them if they come to the park or downtown. And I think we're starting to break that up. The other thing is, well, there's no place to park. Well, there's tons of places to park. No problem finding a place to park. You might have to walk a block, you know, but there's been plenty of parking. And so I think people are catching on. The problem is the words could get out even more. And I worry about how much it's getting out to the people in Madera versus out in the food truck network of Fresno. So I think we want to think about that. The other thing I'm thinking about is, for example, your group. How could we build in evenings that are going to be for certain groups that are already organized that want to put something? Like if we want to do the Oaxacan celebration, you know, how we could chunk out a night that would be part of it, and then you'd be advertised along with all of the other park, and there'd be other groups that might want to do the same. Because right now we're the ones out finding the talent and trying to figure out who's going to come next. So, but I'm also really impressed with this and how fairly easy it was to get it together.
Nick is going, it was
It's like easy.
I don't know. He didn't look stressed. Okay, so thank you for that report. I'd like you to think about, and maybe let's talk a little bit about future events at the park.
Thank you, Madam Chair. So that was item 1 that we just went over. We're going to go to item 2 on 4C, discussion consideration for future events. And that was the direction I was looking for from this board as to how, when, and where we should continue to do these events with the permission of the board. As noted, we have an ad hoc committee set up. We typically meet a few days after these events. And just wanted to check in with the board since it's been a number of months since April, if my memory serves me correctly. We're looking for further direction from this board to continue doing events like this, other events, type of entertainment, just general discussion for ongoing events.
I think the park is an excellent selection because it's a lot easier for us. We know how to set up everything, especially with the food vendors, since there are a lot of them already registered to be member at that park. I think it'd make it a lot easier for future. I mean,
Yeah, there is a cost associated by location when it comes to bringing out the food trucks. So I think Board Member Drew makes a good point in saying that we have this location established. Mike with Fresno Street Eats has the majority of these food trucks kind of locked in to say for the annual pass. And so, in my opinion, that would be a really good selection to keep the events going in Courthouse Park.
Is there anything on the other side?
Which direction?
Well, facing on the right where it's not as large.
Closer towards the courthouse?
Yeah, towards the high.
Yeah, closer. So we've kind of made there's an imaginary line to say, with the Historical Society and the courthouse, we don't look to do too much in respect to the museum and some of the other items that are there. Just the direction I've been given or heard is to essentially keep the events more near the amphitheater since the openness is there and there's not so many monuments. So forth.
I don't know what the Historical Society about incorporating night at the museum, something like that. Yeah.
Yeah, actually, we're going to be filming tomorrow at the museum. It's going to be a number of items. One is going to be the 70th year anniversary of the Historical Society. The other item is going to be for the Old Timers Week itself. And three, we're going to be recognizing Cheryl Berry and Chris Miller as the King and Queen and Grand Marshal. And I believe there was one more item they wanted to cover, but I've been working with Steve and Cheryl on doing some filming for tomorrow. Tomorrow morning we'll be out there to kind of highlight. So also in conjunction with Old Timers Week, after the parade in the park, they're also going to have the museum open for an open house, as you said, for the museum. But we'd be happy to entertain any discussion with the museum, the Historical Society, to see if there's something we can do in conjunction with one another. But I do know September, that's definitely going to happen.
Yeah, I think that's worth pursuing. Because I'm finding it to be a much more family-oriented event. And I think we want to keep it that way. And then I think we bring in people who wouldn't normally come to the museum. And the kids have come on a field trip, bring their parents.
Do that.
So it could be a way to, encourage more foot traffic. Maybe it's open from 5 to 6, 7. Or maybe there's an exhibit that is done outside. Somebody wants to live drama enactment of covered wagons. Something like that. I think that's worth. Yeah, good.
So I just want to make sure I have the proper direction. We're looking to continue these type of events. Preliminarily in our ad hoc committees, we've discussed May through October. And
Do you have any thoughts about how to expand the repertoire or make the awareness of this event, make it available to other groups in town that might want to participate? So as we develop a schedule, people could get on it.
Well, I think what you mentioned earlier about collaborating with the other groups would be a good way to have that spread the word. I think that with big events like the Old Timers Day parade coming up, it's another opportunity to market the street eats it. And also like if for next year you already have this idea that they're going to be every month, just putting that in people's head, like, this is a series that's coming up. Starting in May, ending in October, and these are the ways that you can participate, because I have also been seeing a lot of those questions online about a lot of people in Madera didn't know about it. So just letting them know beforehand, this is how you get ready, this is how you do the process and all of that, so that you're a part of it, and just Maderans being a part of it themselves, they're going to amplify that.
Right. I've gotten questions now about how do you become a vendor? How do you get a booth? Who gets booths? Things like that. And then we've had some groups talk to us about how do you get to be one of the groups that participate. So I think there's interest out there and there's talent. We ought to be looking at all the different kind of cultures celebrating. I also think, we have to advertise with a flyer.
Yeah, we've also been doing some of our marketing efforts in Spanish.
My friends aren't seeing it.
And yeah, and we've put a good amount of effort, whether it's Fresno Street Eats, through Drew's channels, through the Madera County channels, and with the Madera Tribune. But this day and age, technology-wise, it's very challenging to get to people. There's a lot of swiping and,
Right.
tapping, but
Right.
to actually get to someone that you want to get to can be a bit of a challenge. But we're always open to any recommendations. Looking into next year, one thing I will mention, in confidentiality with this source, we are looking at a major donor who's considering sponsoring the entire year. And if we're able to work that out and make things happen, we'll definitely announce this as a series presented by this particular organization. So more to come on that, but we're working really hard on firing
We
up.
didn't
for
want to
2020.
count our chickens before they were hatched, so we thought, let's just try this and get started. But I think we're feeling more confident now. So we could have a series and build it up.
And I don't know if this is the time, but I would be interested in being a part of the ad hoc committee. I don't know if you're open to that.
Oh, yes.
Absolutely. Yeah, actually,
Wednesday at noon.
yeah, Wednesday at noon, and I'll be bringing in lunch.
Wednesday at
So
noon.
come on, hungry.
Yeah, right. I think I'm gonna have to take myself off of that. We have too many board members. No, that's
Yeah,
okay.
and just
It
for the
is
record,
noon- No, it's fine. Noon Wednesday.
noon Wednesday, fourth floor.
Because I think your
Good.
input would be valuable because you already organized. And you have some groups in mind. Wait a minute. I had somebody also ask, well, how do you pick your talent? How do you get in the mix? Who do you talk to? We don't really have that point or
Yeah.
booth or anything,
You gotta do you. It's because we're on the record.
Yeah, email Mike Oz. Yeah, that's
Yeah,
really
but see, not everybody knows Mike Oz.
yeah. Well, it
So we
would be
have-
Fresno Street Eats. It's like FresnoStreetEats@gmail.com. That's how it usually. I think he wants us giving his phone number to everybody because
Right.
a bunch of people are going to be calling him, and he's got a bunch of other stuff.
I think we might want to formalize that a little.
Yeah, kind of hard. And then too, it's with
It's
the
all-
permitting and everything too as well. And if they don't have their stuff, then they can't be a part of it. So it's been difficult.
Yeah, and just for the record purposes, if I can get direction from the board that to continue the events, utilize the account for the funding with the attempt of also raising funds to offset the costs,
Okay,
that would be good.
good. So it's not an action item, it's a report, but maybe we could say,
Just direction for the record.
what's the board? Are you ready to go? Try it in another year?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Good to
Okay,
go through
we're shaking
October.
our head.
Continue to
Try it another year.
Okay, wonderful.
We have, maybe, I don't know, we can talk about this, but if we want to involve the school district in another event, we have to get it in before school lets out. Because he doesn't have talent in the fall for this.
Yeah, I've included the school district on each debrief meeting, and
Yeah.
I unfortunately haven't had any
Yeah,
ability for them to join us. But if they would join us, we'd be happy to bring. You saw the crowd that they brought the first event, and we'd love to have them as a partner.
Right.
But I understand with schedules and work and so forth. Challenge for them.
yeah. That's a way for a lot of people to know what we're doing.
Yeah.
Well, great. Well, thank you. This is
Thank you.
way more than I thought was going to happen in our first year. So, of course, you have to know that when we went to the meeting, I said, well, we're going to do this every week, aren't we? And they went, week? Let's just start with month. See if we can. Oh, okay. I have important questions like, what's cumbia? I got told that too. It's Latin jazz. Everybody said, yes. Great music. I love Latin jazz. But everybody else understands it as cumbia, but me. I'm old. You are too. Okay. Member and staff reports. Anything else from the groups? Okay. Well, thank you very much for coming. Now, we will not be meeting next month. Do you have that down?
I don't, but I did discuss it with Karen, yes,
Yes, I believe we're not meeting here next month.
yes.
So our next meeting will be in October. I contacted the city manager about coming today to give us some update on what's happening and with downtown, Main Street renovation and all. But he and Mr. Tackett and third person was, Keith, were in Fresno at a meeting today, so they weren't able to come. So we'll try to schedule them for October, so we can see what's happening with the alley project, that kind of thing. So, yes. Is that the 27th? Yes.
Are they asking the school district?
Not yet. They're not asking. Yeah, okay, yes. Yes, I also think that when we get going with downtown, we can also do tile projects where kids do tiles, and then those become part of where there's planters posted. Up forever. Yeah. Huh? Oh, it's my idea. I said, they have those in other communities, but I thought that would be a great project. There's lots of time. But anyway, we got to get the Main Street renovation done. Start thinking about it. Okay, well, if there's nothing else, then thank you all for coming, and meeting adjourned.